It's the Muppet Evolution, featuring Animal Dan. Animal, 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 animal. It's time to light the music. It's time to hit that like. It's time to get things started on my Muppet Animal costume evolution on DIStory Dan tonight. Boom. Oh boy, it's Animal Dan. I've always loved Animal. He's sort of like the distant rock god cousin to Cookie Monster.
That my kind of fella.
That sort of chaotic, monosyllabic caveman character with one singular pure intention, drumming. Inspired in part by the unhinged drumming antics of classic rock bands like The Who's Keith Moon, the character would have violent musical outbursts that resulted in destructive comedic gold. Animal's first performer, Frank Oz, once explained the essence of Animal in 5 words: sex, sleep, drums, food, and pain. And honestly, I think that sums up this character perfectly. And actually, 2 of those 5 things are practically interchangeable for Animal, who was always trying to eat his drums. This dude eats everything. Chaos. We first meet Animal caged in the basement of the Muppets Sex and Violence special in 1975. Animal is a great little character born out of the rather chaotic energy of this special, meant to establish puppets with adult-oriented humor in a family-friendly entertainment environment, parodying the attitude the 70s had at the time for sex and violence on television. It's really great. If you haven't watched it, I definitely recommend it. We don't really get a good look at him, but he's there chained up in the sewer entrance.
Hi there, Animal.
Which explains the chains on the character right from the get-go. The first time we ever meet Animal, he's chained up like a monster in the basement, you know, like an Addams Family gag. The band plays at the end of the special, so you do get a little bit of a glimpse of him up there playing the drums on stage with Dr. Teeth, chained to his drums, but otherwise he's just a background gag in this otherwise first Muppet special. Animal becomes a solid, established member of the company with the Muppet Show in 1976, where we get a solid up-close look at him, like literally right in the opening. The opening number, right there is Animal. The first Animal puppet, much like every Animal variation to come, is just a chaotic mess of red, feathery hair, punctuated by 2 giant eyes and that snaggle-tooth smile with that big, wide mouth. The construction of the puppet is literally the gimmick. A tamed, fuzzy beast that comes to life only when he has fever drumming mania, his eyes exploding from the mess of hair like their own punchline. Like literally, his articulated eyebrows are like the best part of this puppet. They make all the funny gags work. Animal kicks off a series of drumming-focused bits on The Muppet Show, starting with Rena Moreno in the first season and escalating to a drum battle with icons like Harry Belafonte in season 3. Each of these moments is just iconic. I love the idea of a master drummer giving a master class in comedy with amazing actors and actresses on The Muppet Show. And fun fact, Ronnie Verrell, veteran drummer for icons like Tom Jones and Tony Bennett, was brought in to puppeteer the arms of Animal's drumming to give it a more realistic vision. So whenever you're watching Animal's drums, he usually is doing a pretty decent job of hitting the right stuff for the music that he's currently playing with. It's great, a trend that they continue to do with Animal. You often hear about a drumming legend here or there coming in to help Animal have better drumming for the puppeteer, and it's awesome. All of the Muppets got a nice revised build for the new movie in 1979, thanks to having that big Hollywood budget. So Animal got rebuilt and sort of tamed, if you ask me. Animal, as a core design, does not change too dramatically over the years. The orange body with the tattered clothing, giant collar with the chaotic frizz, it's all of his defining characteristics. But as we move through his evolution, pay attention to how the puppet design changes with more controlled and intentional feather placement for his hair and for for his eyebrows, focusing on bolder eyebrows to make the eyes even more visible, and big curly crazy hair to either give the intention of a tamed animal or a wild animal. It really just depends on what the intention is of the scene. And shout out to the giant animal at the end of the showdown in the Muppet movie, because it's an actual 60-foot tall animal puppet that they built on top of a roof, like at an old Western set. It's not a blue screen gimmick where like a puppet's like popping up and like, you know, getting green screened in or whatever. No. They built this giant 60-foot animal. So it's absolutely amazing. Someone has to know where this giant animal head is. It still must be out there somewhere. Someone must still have it. Where is it? Muppets Take Manhattan is one of the best Muppet movies for so many reasons, but perhaps the best reason is the introduction of the Muppet Babies, which are just the best. The Muppet Babies are the best. But if you remember, the 1984 Muppets Take Manhattan did not have an animal baby in the Muppet Baby dream sequence. He was not turned into a baby until the cartoon came out that same year. And I like Animal and Muppet Babies. He's a cool character, and I really appreciate the fact that for the first 3 seasons, he was voiced by Howie Mandel, which is incredible. In fact, when you listen to Baby Animal and Bobby's World, it's Baby Animal and Bobby are essentially the same character.
Me no.
Thank you so much, Howie Mandel, for all your voice acting there. It was really great. And the second half of the show, because eventually Howie left, Animal was voiced by Dave Coulier from Full House. Cartoon Animal was like an 80s comedian magnet, I guess. Muppet Babies Animal is one of the best Muppet Babies, and it's a shame that he was not in Muppets Take Manhattan in that dream sequence. For shame, you Muppet people. But don't worry, we'll get there. To capitalize on their blockbuster movie and hit TV show, the Muppets went on a live tour in 1984 in the same vein as like a Sesame Street Live, with larger-than-life costume character Muppets. And Animal is one of the few characters that I honestly believe translates perfectly to a full-size human, because he already has all the right proportions. The giant head, the long, lanky, dangly arms and legs. This just works perfect with, you know, a tall, lanky dancer, you know? Stick a dancer in an animal body and it makes sense. So much better than Kermit and his long fingers and thick neck. And this show is like a fever dream. I would have given my left arm to have a recording of this show, like some kind of DVD or VHS, something. It's all lost media. We really only have like one news segment and some posters and some images, but we don't have the full recording of this show. It's lost. It's lost Muppet Media. So check out my whole series about Muppet Lost Media for more information on fun Muppet Lost Media. But this is one of the things that's lost out there. We don't really know what the full show was. We only know what the best of bits were. Now, that Muppet tour ran for 2 years, from 1984 to 1985, and in the 1985 version, they had an updated segment that added Muppet Babies. And then a year later, in 1986, the Muppet Babies got their own live tour, taking over for the Muppets live tour that was for the previous 2 years. This is awesome. It's just Muppet Baby insanity. The characters are actually really well done. And toddler Muppets blown up into giant walkarounds, it works. It works way better than adult Muppets blown up into character walkarounds. All of the weird thickness and like odd proportions of toddler bodies, it works. It just works with Muppets, like thick baby Kermit, it just works. It doesn't look weird, unlike thick adult Kermit, which does look very weird.
Get him out of here.
Get him out of here!
Muppet Babies Animal looks like an early American colonial like child with the bonnet. I've always thought that. I always thought he belonged in colonial Williamsburg, like with the Pilgrims on Plymouth Rock. It's just a fur baby with a hat. That's really all it is. But for whatever reason, growing up, I always, and even now as an adult, I see Baby Animal and it's like, oh, that's a pilgrim. You know, pilgrims. Ah, yes, the 1987 Muppets Family Christmas, one of the best specials ever to air. And as a penance for Animal not showing up as a real puppet in the baby dream sequence of Muppets Take Manhattan, they built their own special Muppet Animal baby for this Muppet Family Christmas special that is arguably, like I said, the greatest piece of television ever. They essentially retconned his absence with a Muppet Home Movie section of the special, where we have like a, see guys, we always have had a baby animal puppet. We just had him wrapped up in a Christmas present the whole time, which is why he wasn't in the original movie. See, guys? See? Anyway, he's cute. He's cute. And this is the first of several baby animal puppets, so start learning to change diapers now. And they're animal diapers, so you know those poops are rough. This guy eats everything. He's like a goat. Here Come the Muppets in 1990 was a live stage show that ran at Disney's MGM Studios as part of a partnership with Jim Henson that ultimately gave us Muppet Vision. R.I.P. R.I.P. Muppet Vision, R.I.P. Jim Henson, R.I.P. all of it, R.I.P. the Muppets. Now we've seen the giant walk-around costume characters with the Muppet live shows, but these are a little bit different. They're similar, but different in the same way. Now the articulation is way better. The heads open and close their mouths so much nicer, thanks to the really nice handbrake pedals that the puppeteers have hidden in the costume hands to make the mouths open and close. It's really great. And Animal arrives pretty early in the show as the monorail crashes into the stage, releasing all of Electric Mayhem. By the way, that doesn't make any sense. The monorail isn't anywhere near MGM Studios. Anyway, upon arrival, he eats one of the speakers, causing a delay in the finale, and I love this. I mean, Animal is often confusing musical instruments and food, so him eating a speaker, it just makes sense. It just makes sense to me. He's literally the Cookie Monster of rock and roll, you know? He just consumes rock. They used these costumes again for another show, but this time an outdoor show called Swine and Roses that moved and grooved to Broadway tunes. It was a Broadway tunes Muppet Show, which is great, you know? But then eventually they were retired. We saw the Kermit and the Piggy, I think, pop up once or twice after this, but otherwise, this is the last time we saw a walk-around full-sized animal character. So, you know, bring these guys back. Bring these guys back immediately. Like, you know, like over by the Rock and Roller Coaster, new Muppet coaster. Bring me full-size Muppets back. It's time, guys. It's time to bring them back. Bring them back. Let me just say this real quick, that the Muppets doing TV commercials is where they shine best. You know, it's where they first got started. It's where we met most of Muppets. You know, like Rolf was like a dog food commercial puppet. And so the 2014 Muppets Lipton tea partnership advertisement might be one of the best pieces of Muppet media we've ever gotten. I mean, it has the most iconic meme in this, you know, Kermit sipping tea. But this is great because this is a very specifically animal-centric commercial, this Lipton commercial, which gives us multiple versions of the weirdo drummer out in the world doing many different jobs. It's just a universe filled with animals. So we get like an old man animal, and then we get a new version of baby animal, an animal calling Miss Piggy Pig.
To the movie theater, please.
Okay, Pig. Is so funny. I don't know what it is about calling Miss Piggy Pig that is so hilarious to me, but it works. It works really well. All right, I gotta say it. I love the 2018 new Muppet Babies. They are just so great. CGI Muppets are just so freaking adorable. I can't get enough of them. And Animal's new look in this is too cute. It's dangerously cute. The fun little printed jacket, the jeans, the bracelets, the tiny little caveman face that you just want to pinch and squeeze. What is not to love about this Animal? It's weird seeing Animal not like with crazy feathery hair, like this is like troll hair. So it's weird not seeing him with like, you know, the feathery fluff. It's just Animal in a rock band, you know, an 80s glam rock band wig. So I guess it works. It does work. It's not like it's bad. It's just I'm used to seeing him all feathered up. And what's nice about this baby Animal is that he has more complex thoughts than he does when he's an adult. And he communicates in this like weird Elmo coded speaking about of himself in third person, you know, animal this, animal that. It's great. I like it. Chaos. I've done it again.
Drums!
It's exactly how early Elmo behaved on Sesame Street, so we know it works. And to find out more about that crazy caveman Elmo, watch my Elmo evolution here. Elmo and Animal have a lot in common, now that I'm thinking about it. They're like both red chaos monsters, but in different ways. You know, in different ways. Now, Disney Junior did a live-action spin-off of the Muppet Babies CGI show called Muppet Babies Playdate with real puppets, and it's just pure euphoric joy. I can't get enough of these baby puppets, but can we just talk about how huge they are? Look at how large the puppets are compared to the You know, like these are like 10-year-old kids. You know, these are like grown children, and they're still smaller than the puppets in some of the scenes. It's wild. But I love Animal Baby Puppet. The feathery hair with that design just is exactly what we needed to chef's kiss. It's perfect. The only thing that I'm kind of missing from this baby animal is that he can't blink. He doesn't have like the blinky mechanics that every animal puppet has. So I feel like that's a little bit of a miss, and it really neuters his humor, you know, because he can't make like a punchline and then like, you know, do his little eyelid business. But, you know, it's cute. It's adorable. It's nowhere near as cute as the next one. So I hope you're prepared for the cuteness overload that's about to come upon you, because this might be the cutest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. The 2023 Muppets Mayhem was a great spin-off of the classic Muppet gang adventure with a fresh focus on the band Electric Mayhem. It's the musician cameo-packed miniseries that was an absolute delight and gave us so many great moments, but perhaps the greatest moment of the show has to be Newborn Animal. Little precious, little perfect, little tiny bundle of joy that was dropped off at Floyd's door, and just look at him in that tiny little diaper with those giant innocent eyes and that huge fluffy mane. He's just like a grumpy little guy. It's just this grumpy little face makes me melt. It's so great to get this little bit of backstory to an otherwise rather mysterious character like, you know, what is Animal? You know, like everyone's always like, well, what's Gonzo? Well, what's Animal? You know, he's like a chained up monster that's a drumming beast. But I love it. To think that he was a little abandoned monster that was found, you know, in the night by chosen family that like allows him to make his art and live his best life. It's a very relatable and beautiful story. So I love it. It tickled me to no end. Well, there you go. There is a Muppet history featuring Animal Dan. I hope you enjoyed it. Oh, I'm so sweaty. This is the sweatiest I've ever been after wearing a costume. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Special thanks out there to all of my Patreons for supporting the channel and helping me make incredible art like this. Special thanks to HalloweenCostumes.com for hooking me up with amazing costumes time and time again. Make sure you head on over there and visit my special link to get 15% off your entire order. Thanks for watching, everybody. And as always, hold on, it'll make more sense if I wear this. Thanks for watching, everybody. And as always, you rock! Yeah! Yeah, animal, 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 animal.